What is radioactivity?
Something to do with, obviously, a nuclear power plant.
Is it like the waves in the air?
If there's a radioactive substance like uranium, it would give out particles such as alpha, beta.
Is it a gas?
It's when things decay.
Radioactivity is the spontaneous disintegration in some atoms in their nucleus. When it disintegrates, it gives off particles, gives off energy, and it transforms into something else. Let's take the Geiger counter. Let's see if we can detect some radioactivity. Now, every time you hear it beep, that means it's detected the nucleus of an atom disintegrating into another product. Is radioactivity natural?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of things around us that are radioactive. You think that orange thing might be radioactive?
Yeah.
You might have found this in your kitchen table 40 years ago. This is called Fiesta ware. And it has this nice orange glow on it because the glaze they use contains uranium, which is a radioactive element.
Okay, Dad, throw this out. Throw it out.
Do you have a smoke detector in your home?
Yes.
You see a little piece of silver in there? That silver is a man-made radioactive element called americium. We put that up against the Geiger counter, and you can hear, and boom, all of a sudden it goes right off the scale. Noah, do you know what that is? Can you hold that for me?
It's used in the lab of some sort.
That's right. So that's the mantle that goes in the middle of the Coleman lantern, right? And it contains thorium, which is a radioactive material.
These products we shouldn't use anymore? Or?
No, absolutely. No. They're just a little bit of radioactivity in your everyday life. I mean, don't eat this, and, you know, and don't stick it in your pocket and walk around with it for the next 5 years. Used properly, these things are perfectly safe. The Geiger counter just detects the presence of radioactivity. And I'm telling you the particles are coming off, right? Do you believe me?
Well, that thing says it is, so sure, I believe you.
This chamber here allows us to actually see the particles moving away from the source. So there's dry ice underneath. We get a very cold layer of alcohol in there, and the particles, they streak through, they leave a little cloud trail behind. You see those little streaks?
Yeah.
The tip of the needle is a beta source. It gives off tiny little particles.
Whoa, whoa.
And there are two different types of particles. One of them's big, one of them's small. Noah, because you're a big guy, you get to be our alpha particle. Alpha particles are the larger of the two particles. They contain 2 protons and 2 neutrons. And Anna, you can be our beta particle. The beta particle is much smaller. It's just an electron. Now we can actually see how alpha particles and beta particles can travel. Now this guy, americium, gives off alpha particles. If we hold our alpha emitter up to the Geiger counter, but alpha particles are, because they're kind of big and bulky, they can't even go through a couple of sheets of paper.
Yep.
We drop the paper in, you know, it cuts it off almost entirely.
Yeah.
Take it out. So alpha particles, not very penetrating, easy to contain. It's one of the reasons you can use them in a smoke detector. A smoke detector got a nice big cover like this.
Okay.
Not a lot compared with that. If we tried the same thing with our little beta particles or electrons, beeping away, put our paper in there, doesn't do a thing. But you can stop them. They're not that hard to stop. A couple blocks of wood, shut them right down. Here we go, pop quiz. Who wants to give me a definition of radioactivity?
It is when a nucleus disintegrates.
In what part of the atom does radioactivity take place?
In the nucleus.
So we're going to come swing it over here to the boys now. What are the 2 types of particles that are emitted during radioactive decay?
Alpha,
And?
beta.
Very good. And what happens to that atom after it gives off that particle?
It splits into a different particle.
Yeah, it becomes a new element.
You guys are good. You guys are real good.
Oh, I dropped my data.
Oh no! Stand back, radioactivity on the loose.